Tuesday, the traffic is horrible, a lot of things going on. But hello and welcome to Exploring AI's Impact on English Language Teaching, a comprehensive overview. My name is Phi Cao and I'm delighted to be today's presenter. And I would like to extend a warm welcome to everyone who joins us from all departments from El Salvador and from other countries. As Ovidio mentioned, with a PhD in learning systems design and technology, and then a master's degree in English, in teaching English. So my passion lies in leveraging the use of technology in English language teaching and learning. But enough about me, let's focus on you, the enthusiastic, incredible educators who are passionate about embracing the power of AI. So they say that COVID-19 pandemic resulted in a lot of changes and movement. Suddenly we found ourselves in online and then hybrid teaching situations through earthquakes and then rains going on, and desperately seeking ways to keep the English language magic alive. But fear not, enter artificial intelligence, our trusty sidekick in this language learning and teaching landscape. So with its remarkable abilities to stimulate human intelligence, AI is transforming teaching, just like rain in the weather in El Salvador. Right now, sunny, suddenly it's raining. So in today's presentation, we're gonna explore the benefits and the applications of AI in teaching English. But we will also talk about some ethical considerations. And we're gonna try to strike a balance between human touch and technological brilliance. And this is the first section of the two webinars on artificial intelligence. So the first section, in my section, I'll give you an overview of the use of AI in teaching English. And then the second webinar, the presenter will present one particular tool that you can use for your English classes. So there will be two sections. Today, a little bit overview, and the next webinar will be a specific tool. So make sure that you don't miss the second one either. Before we start, let's start with a poll, okay? So I'm gonna launch a poll right. This one, have you heard about the use of AI in English language teaching, everyone? Yes? No? Or heard about that, but not very familiar. So yes, we have no, we have heard, some say yes. We say no, we say yes. Okay, very good. We also have you used any AI tools or platform? We have yes, yes, yes. I'm so excited. A lot of people say yes, they've been using. How about we go to something more serious? What concerns you the most about integrating AI? So what concerns you the most, everyone? Is it about the lack of human interaction, data privacy? We're talking about technological barriers or any others that you have? Lack of critical thinking. A lot of say others. Just a little bit. Yes. I have your ChatGPT, we have data, and the lack of training for teachers. So plagiarism, I I'm with you on that. As we have a lot of concern about the use of integrating AI. How about number 4? So how important is the role of us, teachers? So that's essential. We have it's less important now. AI is there. It will be less important. Is there any feeling essential? It looks like we have the same feeling that is essential. We are essential. Very good. How about the last one? I would like to hear your opinion about the last one. Are you excited? We say yes. We'll say, a little bit reservations here, right here. Or you say, no, I prefer traditional. I think all of us would say yes, right? That's why we are here. That's why we talk about artificial intelligence. That's why you spend an hour on Tuesday here instead. Okay. So, but some say I'm concerned. So I totally agree with you. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna share with you another link. Okay. With this one is a little bit different. So some of you have already heard, but I would like you to share with me. I'm gonna share the link in the chat. You will see a link to Mentimeter. If not, you can also go directly to menti.com and then you can put the code. That is the code. Or you can just go use the link that I sent. So can you please share with us the tools that you have used or you really want to learn? You heard about that and you want to learn. Okay, let's see. So we have any specific tools that you have used? Are you interested in learning? Let's see what we have here. Yes, we have 31 answers. Some maybe you haven't used, but maybe some tools. Have you heard about some platforms that you would like to use? We have, I think, the most popular one, I would say, that's the ChatGPT. We have AI Duck. We also have PCs, Google Assistant, Google Voice Typing. That you use that one, yes. Sometimes in WhatsApp, and I don't want to send a voice message, but I cannot type. So there we have the Google Voice. So we connect sound to text. Okay, if you look at this one, we still have 70 answers coming up. We have a lot right there. Yes. PCs. Later we will talk about what is AI. So maybe we will have a clear idea of the difference between just technology and AI powered technology or AI tools. Why some tools are considered AI and others are not. So not everything artificial intelligence right here. Okay, some say you haven't used that. Yeah, those are a good start. And today in this section, I will mention some. And then for the next webinar, we will mention one particular one, maybe the one that everybody, like most people mention, that's it ChatGPT. So or videos. He's the boss, so he can make the call on which tool we're gonna use next week. Okay, so that's great. Everyone, thank you for your input, and I have noticed some really interesting tool over there. But let's take a look at the definition a little bit. So what is AI? So when we talk about artificial intelligence, so this is AI, it refers to the development of computer systems. So here we have the computer systems, and they have the ability to perform some tasks that typically require human intelligence. So what we are talking about? We are talking about learning, we're talking about problem solving, or decision making. So when we have the systems that perform those activities, then we will call them artificial intelligence. So AI systems are designed so that they can analyze data. So remember, we have data analysis here. To analyze data, to make predictions, in order to recognize the patterns. We're talking about the kind of errors that students often make. So those is to recognize the patterns, and then AI technologies also has the ability to adapt the behavior in order to meet the needs that from the input that it has. So when we have different kinds of technologies out there, but AI is just only those that have those abilities, that abilities of data analysis, decisions making, so in order to change the behavior. So the field of AI, wow, encompasses several subfields. So you have machine learning, natural language processing, computer vision, ecosystem, and robotics. But those subfields contribute to the development of different types of AI applications that can be used across different industries. I remember when we started, and then a participant say, I've used AI in other fields, not in education. For example, for graphic design, that's one that we get from a learner, a participant. So AI is basically the simulations of various cognitive processes of it can analyze data, it can make predictions, and then it can recognize patterns, and it can also adapt its behavior. We are talking about a platform or a tool that can do all of those things. So for example, if you have Kahoot, in that case, Kahoot does not have that ability to make predictions. Yes, not all the tools that we have. So when someone say, oh, I use AI, and what do you use? I use Kahoot. This is not AI. So AI, it has to have the part of analyzing the data, and it will provide the output, but different output according to different input. So when we talk about AI. So that has to be the first step. So we have to identify whether that is AI-powered technology or it's just regular technology. Okay. So, however, recently AI has been the buzzword. A lot of people talking about it, and it's not just it's a hype, but because people have noticed its growing significance. For example, in a study conducted by Pearson, and 79% of educators interviewed said that they believe AI has the positive impact on learning. In another study, 93% of education professionals say that, okay, that is AI, that is the part of the institution strategy within the next 5 years. So from now into the future, short term, long term, 5 years, no matter how you look at that, AI is a key part in this. And parents are a little bit more conservative. Parents just say, oh, just 58% of parents said that AI have, yeah, this might have positive impact on my kids' education. So that's interesting to see the view of the parents. However, it is a growing market. So AI-powered adaptive learning market is said that it will reach $6 billion by 2024. Of course, since AI is new, we still need to have a lot of research. Maybe you will conduct those research to see how AI will impact your teaching and learning. But these responses reveals that AI has been playing an important part in education. Now we think about AI, we say, yes, it will make a difference, but where can it make a difference? What do you think? How you can use AI? Where AI will help your teaching? Any idea, everyone? Anything in the chat? Content creation. Yes, AI will help you create content. What else? We also have explore ideas. Oh, I love Giovanni's comment, check assignment. Who doesn't, who enjoy grading, you know? So those, yes, AI will help with checking assignments, clarifying information. We have lesson planning, so you create interactive in virtuality. This is some very interesting. Okay. Yes. Here we have a question. I'll talk about that. Personalized tutoring. Oh, Isaac mentioned that he's doing that. That is very interesting. I would love to hear about that. Presentation creation. You mean, for example, you have to give a presentation and then you will ask AI to do that for you. Wow, we have a lot of collected information of different orders. Okay. Yes, so we have this like slide. Yes, when we talk about English language teaching, there's some areas that I think AI will be very beneficial. The first one is personalized learning. Some of you mentioned personal feedback, but why personalized learning? We talk about AI, the technology. It can recognize the patterns, and it can provide practice so that for you to improve in a particular area. So that's one personalized learning. So it can analyze the learner's strengths, weaknesses, and also the learning patterns, areas that you need to improve so that it will create a learning path. And different learners will have different learning paths. So that's why it's called personalized learning. We do that all the time with our students, but with AI, the process seems to be easier. So it adapts the content, the base that we already have, and the pace of instruction based on individual needs, so that learners will receive the targeted support and practice in area that they need to practice. So yes, that's the first one, personalized learning. Okay, what else? We have here, it looks like, I think you already saw my slides in advance because you mentioned something that I also have on my slide. We have immediate feedback, just like Giovanni said, check-in assignment. And then, yes, AI-powered assessment tools. So what they do, they can provide instant feedback. so that when learner make a mistake, it doesn't matter. Grammar, vocabulary, or pronunciation. So AI algorithm can analyze the mistakes and then it will provide just right away. You get the feedback so they can identify and they can correct the mistakes more efficiently without us listening to I don't know how many recordings. And then we take notes and we get back to our students. With AI, that will be done just like this. So immediate feedback. We also have language practice and engagement. Some of you mentioned in the chat about AI chatbots. Some even mentioned that I've been using that in my class and my students love it. So I hope that we will hear about your experience later when we have the breakout room or when we have the time to share. But here we have AI chatbot, and then we also have they call virtual language tutor. So we have tutors, and then we have the chatbot. Those are just they can offer interactive language practice. Long time ago, maybe 15 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years, people have Second Life. You know, this is the game where create an environment for people to practice. But in this case, right now, it's very popular. So learners can engage in conversations. They can ask questions and they can receive real-time response. So there are so many apps out there that you can start a conversation either by writing or by your voice. And then a chatbot will respond and will help you with the errors that you make. That's how you learn reading, listening, and then you also have pronunciation, writing, and speaking as well. So I believe it's called TalkPad. So that's an example of language practice and engagement. So you can improve your skills. And that was, I say, in a fun environment. That's what they said. Okay. The next one, I would say this one is similar to immediate feedback. So, but here this has another part, Giovanni, checking assignments, yes. But then you also track the progress of participants, of your students. So what you do, so they will help you with grading. Oh, you know, a cool word is assessing students, okay? And what they do, they track progress. So what AI does is that it analyzes performance data. So it gets a lot of data. So it analyzes the data and it will identify areas of improvement. We do that, of course, but we have to look, our eyes just get worrying, tired, just when we look and check and identify the patterns. But with AI, it's a lot easier and faster so that we can make decisions more efficiently. And this is my favorite part that a lot of you mentioned, content creation. It's not just creation, but also for you to adapt information. So probably many of you have heard about ChatGPT. It is just one out of many tools. That I also noticed that some of you mentioned Microsoft Bing. Yes, this is the newer one that was released after ChatGPT. But the beauty of those tools is that they can generate language learning content and exercises tailored to the level that you want. So in our next webinar, we're going to have the webinar on the use of such a tool to create content, to create exercises, and to fit participants, you know, proficiency levels, we have the interest, we have the goals, and it can also adapt existing materials. So you just give it the existing materials, and then you ask it to make it more challenging. Or you can ask this one to make it easier. Or you say make a similar but about the context in El Salvador instead of Panama, for example. In that case, it will adapt the material for you so that your students and you can have relevant material. So that's the part that a lot of you mentioned in the chat. The next one, we have classroom management. We don't use this a lot. I think when people talk about AI, they think more about content creation and language learning and feedback. But you know, there are so many tools that can help us as teachers to say that we save at the time that do some clerical work to help us manage administrative tasks more efficiently. So what it can do, it can organize learning materials. So you have like, I don't know, look at your desktop, how many documents you have. They can group your documents into categories for you. Okay, and this is also, it can have some to help you do automatic tasks. In that case, so you can focus on personalized teaching and students interaction only. So we are some key areas. Those are just some examples. There are still many areas out there that we can explore until tomorrow. But those are, I would say, the keys. Why don't we take a look at some applications in English language teaching? So what I'm going to do, we're going to have a quiz right here. I will mention, for example, we have language learning platform. What you have to do is to think about which language learning platform that you know that use artificial intelligence. And then I will show you what we have. Okay, so here we go. Let's see. Language learning platform. Which AI-powered language learning platform do you know? Which app that you use, and think about it and whether it offers you personalized practice or not? Oh, yes, you're different. Just for example, just like me, I have to learn Spanish. In that case, yes, I have to use an app. But probably you're already expert in Spanish and English, you don't have to learn another one. So we have Duolingo. Milton, let's see what I have is Duolingo. Duolingo recently, I'm not advertising for them, but they have the English test, the English proficiency test. And the talk about that is that it is AI powered. So not everybody will do the same test. The moment you get in, you answer the question. If you answer it correctly, you will have a more difficult question. Of course, your score will be higher, right? If you don't answer that correctly, they will give you, an easier one. And also throughout, when you learn Duolingo, you make some mistakes. Suddenly, a pop-up window will appear and say, it will explain the error for you. And it also has a part called personalized practice. In that case, because you make a mistake with this error, so they will give you a couple of more sentences. So that is Duolingo is one example. And it's not the only one. We have Elsa. Somebody mentioned This one. The top part was the one that I was talking about. As well, in that case, you start a conversation by saying a sentence, and then it will respond to you, and you two will have the conversation. It's just like you have a conversation partner, but your partner is a chatbot. So talk time is another one. And then how about automatic language assessment? I know Shivani will love it. And everybody will love it too. Do you know any tools, any program? There's one. Let's see what we have in the chat. Kahoot or Quizalloy or Google Form. In that case, it depends on how you use it. Google Form, I don't think it has the feature of artificial intelligence yet. Not yet. It will if you, but everything you have to program. For example, if they answer this wrong, in that case, you will direct them to question number 5. If you answered it correctly, it's just like if you have teachers of ID members, you can continue. So if you cannot buy, I will direct you to the website and you will register. But in that case, we program that. So there is no base, and the computer does not automatically recommend that. So it's not, I will say, I wouldn't consider it artificial intelligence. But there's a software, I wonder whether you've heard of that. It's called Write and Improve by Cambridge English. What I like about this is that they use natural language processing algorithm. And then after you write, so the software will automatically analyze your response, and then it will give instant feedback on grammar. So then you say, okay, subject and verb agreements. Or when you use imperative, you have to use it for the subject. So it will recognize the grammar. It will be grammar, vocabulary. And the thing that makes this software superior is that it helps you with your writing style. It says, yes, it's correct, but this is a better way to write it. And if you use, for example, you think about Google email, it will automatically recommend you some. In those cases, this can be artificial intelligence. Okay. We say English score, Akinator, and GPT dictionary. Those are the ones. Grammarly, Luis Avelan, yes. Grammarly is also artificial intelligence. It recommends. And Grammarly has various plans. So some you can have the basic, but some you have more advanced, can do a lot more. But yes, those are the kind of assessment automatically. The next one is translation and interpretation. Which one did you think about? Do you have in mind which one you use? Lingy, oh yes, ChatGPT, now we use that for everything, yes. TBL, Microsoft Translator, they think. So we have translation and interpretation. I think with translation is more popular, right? Maybe, but, no matter what software you use, we still need the human translator right here. But I just want to talk about Google Translate. And what makes it superior right now is that you say the sentence and then it will translate it, and it will say, for example, you just say "Tango hambre," and then it will say "I'm hungry" back to you. So in that case, you can just use it. It's a way of interpretation. So instead of "and," then in the past, we have to do it. But right now, with artificial intelligence, not just that, you can even just take a picture. It will say back to you the text in another language. So yes, those on Google Translate is the best. My favorite is Debel. Google Translate for me, I like the interpretation feature of Google Translate. So with the text, with the voice, sometimes we have to say that sentence, or you're in the situation, that person says something, you take your phone out and you record it, suddenly you hear the word. So in that case, I use Google Translate. But if I have something, I read an email I don't know, and I would go for email. And how about this one? Some of you mentioned Elsa. Elsa is what I that is speech recognition and pronunciation training. This is I would say, one of the most popular software. They call AI power technology. It helps a lot with speech recognition, with pronunciation. So it helps a lot with pronunciation as well. And you know, they started a long time ago, way before AI is popular. Right now, you don't need to use Elsa. You know, we just go to Google and then you write the word language pronunciation. And then you will see the pronunciation page. And it asks you to read the word assessment, which one we're talking about. And then it will identify whether you say it correctly or not, which error you make. The beauty about Elsa is that it's systematically analyzed. So you have a clear future. So you notice that, oh, I often mispronounce the word that start with John, J, job. So that's the beauty of having the software. So it identifies your errors systematically, and then it will give you exercises that you can improve. So you will say a lot of tongue twister, for example. You mentioned, yes, Roberta, get pronounced. This is also popular. I would say it also work. Get pronounced. That's another one. And then here we go. We have to get about content generation and adaptation. The famous, this is a ChatGPT, and I would recommend that you try that. Give it a try. I use it, honestly, for English for tourism, for example. I would like to adapt the content to fit the situation of learners in El Salvador. In that case, I ask for help from ChatGPT. Microsoft Bing is out there. You can give it a try as well. And however, there are some techniques that you need to use in order to get what you want. They say it, trash in, trash out. The way that you ask them to do it, it uses your request in order to give you what you want. So your requests have to be automatic. No, I'm sorry, not automatic. I was reading the chat and someone asking about create video or audio directly. No, but your requests have to be specific. The more specific you have, the better it's gonna be. To create video, no, but I use a lot of software to create audio. So if some of you if you took English for tourism, you know the listening. Sometimes what I did is that I asked ChatGPT to write a conversation, and then I use the software to get the audio, and then you have the listening. So yes, there are softwares to do that. Mm-hmm. And the last one we just talked about is virtual reality. Some of you also mentioned that in the chat, virtual reality. I was thinking Second Life some years ago, but in this case, have you used any virtual reality? VR? In that case, so that you give learner, what you do is that this technology, it will create virtual environments. So where learners can practice English conversations in a realistic environment. So you feel like you're in Paris ordering a croissant and speaking French. Or you will feel like, yes, I'm in the restaurant and I'm ordering food. In that case, so Mozilla Hub. And if I'm not wrong, last year for the conference, you know, we had a proposal about the use of VR, virtual reality, right? Way before artificial intelligence became a hit. Some of our members have already talked about that. But the one that I use, this one is called Immerse Me. It just, again, it's just one out of many. There are many fish in the sea, so you will see there are different technologies, but this one is that they create the environment so that it's like realistic. So we know that in English, they will feel like they are there, and they will speak with confidence when they feel like they're in that environment. So Immerse Me creates that environment. It's an AI-driven VR language learning platform. Okay, those are just a few examples of some applications of AI in English language teaching. So as AI, as technologies continue to advance, I expect that we will see more features, more applications out there. So what we need to do, what is that? We have to attend teacher subject with us to learn about that. However, there are some, I just want to mention some ethical considerations. The thing is about privacy. You know, there's a lot of information out there when we use information for our students. We have to make sure, okay, what kind of information we can share. And also we have to make sure that AI system is used for learners. It's not just like for us to supervise them. Okay, how many hours you spend on which technology. And the thing is we have to set clear guidelines and policy in terms of when you can use, in what situations that you can use. And we have to be clear with our students. And it's not just about the guidelines, and also it's not just about us to our students, but we need guidance from the university, from our school, the institutions, or Minet. They have to let us, I have to be clear like Italy, no, you cannot use it. Or some say, yes, you can use it, or it's better, you should incorporate, you should teach students how to use it. So school has to be clear about this. And also there are so many different systems out there, so we have to continue evaluating, monitoring which one is new out there. So we have to continue learning. And also we need to let our students know that right now, a lot of people, the use of AI in the workforce will be there. So we have to teach our students, we have to let them be aware. So basically don't choose a career that can be replaced by AI. And however, no matter how intelligent AI is. It will never replace us. So we are there. We will always be needed to foster meaningful interactions between our students. We can provide emotional support that no artificial intelligence. That's us, Miss Menhiva, giving you advice, different from a chat box saying the same thing. It's different, right? And so we are still there. That's emotional support for our students. And also we will bring, we are there to help them. We show that we are empathetic, we care, we are there to help them with their learning journey. And our job is to create a positive classroom environment for our learners. So those such things, So AI is there to help us, to facilitate our teaching, so we don't have to spend the weekends grading. Instead, what we do is that we use it to facilitate our teaching with grading, classroom management, giving extra practice to students so that we can create a powerful synergy so that students can have a better learning. That is there. So we need to have the balance between the AI technology and us as the teacher. I would like to open the floor. I would like to have the breakout room, but I didn't notice that I spoke too much. Do we have the breakout room time or video?
We have only 5 minutes, but we still have to make some full announcements. So I think this is going to be the homework assignment for next webinar session.
Yes, in the next webinar sections, we will talk about integrating a particular tool. So we will share this. So for you to start thinking about these questions so that you can go to the second webinar with some ideas in mind, and we will continue talking about that. For example, any success stories about the youth that would be your case or example. But I just want to have some final thought before I let you go. I just want you to know that rest assured, AI is your trusted sidekick, your assistant. It's there not to steal your job. It's there just to help you. It's there to facilitate your teaching. It's there to help you teach your students better, but it cannot replace you. And what we can do is just to welcome it with the open arms. We know it's there to stay. So what we can do is to take advantage of the technologies. And also we will bring the human touch to AI technology. So what we can bring to the classroom, we have laughter, empathy, we have our special magic that we can bring to the classroom, and AI can never do that, and it can never steal our job. Thank you everyone for listening, and I wonder whether we have any questions.
Well, thank you so much, Vin, for the presentation. Everything has been great, but those final thoughts were outstanding. And this, I believe, is going to leave us with that sense that even though artificial intelligence is offering a lot, but we're still there for